So some of these questions are personal,
Mhm.
so feel free to skip any questions you don't feel comfortable answering.
Mhm.
The first one is, who are you? Like a brief introduction.
Um, my name is Tenzin. Um, I just graduated college this summer. I have. Um, I just graduated high school is what I meant to say. I'm sorry. Oh, I don't. Who am I? I'm a person who likes to draw and wants to find a profession related to it, but also I find that I'm a very logical person, so I want to find something that goes with both the arts and like I don't know, like logical things like computers and designs and stuff like that. I'm Tibetan, but I wasn't born there. I was born in Nepal. I'm Tibetan, but I've never been to Tibet, so I don't know what that means. Um, I would say I am a product of a almost a wholesome family. Um, what else? I'm just a girl who's trying to make sure her parents can retire and my brother can graduate college. I think that's who I am. I like I like to listen to music too.
Alright. Next one is, are you scared of yourself?
Oh my gosh. Sometimes I feel like I am scared of myself, or I'm scared of not like the people who have to deal with me. I feel afraid for them because, like, I try my very best to be very calm and like understanding and logical and objective. But I find that there are so many people around me that aren't that way, so that makes me very like frustrated because I get I my tolerance for people who are like idealistic is just almost non-existent because I feel like being idealistic is very nice, but only a concept. The concept is nice, but it just means you're ignorant and you refuse to believe the truth. And the truth is life is hard. You need to get over it. And I I think I technically do have some kind of anger problem, but I'm very good at holding it, you know? You can't see it because I wear a veil of frustration, but I feel like I'm always angry. I wake up angry, I go to bed angry, I eat food angry, like I'm just really good at like holding it all in, which is not a healthy thing because I think I have to go to therapy or something or like take up like something like yoga to get rid of it. But I don't know, like I feel like anger comes from like the very it comes from the parts where I'm like, are you serious? Like, are you fucking serious? Like, this is like, I don't know. It's just, but also, you know, like, according to psychology, most of the problems you have with other people is reflective towards yourself. But I feel like I'm quite objective, and people aren't, and it frustrates me because then it just means that we can't progress. So, yeah, I would be afraid for people who have to deal with me. If I ever let go, okay? If I ever just like stop trying to cool down or stop trying to like deal with people properly, I think I would just be a nutcase. I would probably be like a serial killer or something, but like for the very petty reasons. Like, so much things that goes in my head, and I don't have time for people to be bothering me with their bullshit because they refuse to take a progressive step towards their future. They just want to stay and complain about, oh my god, I'm doing that very thing right now. But I don't like it. I just like when people can understand and be open to all kinds of concepts and ways of lives and still be able to coexist with that that idea that happens. But it frustrates me a lot, and a lot of my frustration comes with like just everything that happens in the media and our current political climate. I know I didn't want to talk about politics, but if you don't talk about politics in this day, like in America now, it just means you refuse to like open your eyes to what's actually happening and what's actually going to affect you. So I feel like I'm like kind of going off track, but yeah, that's good. Yeah, I think that's my answer.
Okay. So you basically feel like if you wouldn't carry yourself the way you do, you would probably like be like.
I would be a very psychotic
ignorant.
murderer who would be out to kill anyone who gets on my nerve.
Okay.
But also there's like, that concept where like people talk about humanity, and one of the very first things that make you human is what holds you back from becoming a psychotic murderer.
Mm-hmm.
Thank goodness for that. Okay. So, I really hope the microphone is picking this all up.
I think it is. Yeah, it is.
Okay, cool.
So, next one is, what's the hardest question you've been asked to answer?
Let me just think about it a little bit. This is actually very personal. I'm trying to play it off like it's not, because then I'll start crying. But it's like, why did I choose to take like an artistic approach to like a career and making money? Because it seems like for my parents it would be a burden, because like I could have been like any other immigrant's like child who like pursues nursing or like medicine or science or something more objective and logical, and seems to give a like an easy, like, I mean, I'm not saying those jobs are easy, but I'm just saying it's much easier to obtain a job after studying for this kind of degree. So I think that would be one of the hardest questions, because I feel like I'm not going to say I never thought of it. I always thought of it. I feel like it's one question that really haunts me. But I really, like, I've actually I've worked hard in school. Like, I know what it is that I wanted to actually pursue, and no matter how hard I try to convince myself that like I should take like nursing or medicine or something like that, it just isn't me. Like, I don't know who I would be. I feel like it just would be my undoing.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's the hardest
that
question.
answers my question. Why do you make art?
Why do I make art?
Do you feel like there's nothing else you could do? Like, this is the only thing we're good at.
I shouldn't say that though, because then
I can't get a job. I can't get any other job. I really can't.
I mean, I wouldn't want to get any other job
Yeah.
though, because like, here's the thing. When I'm doing art, it's more about myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I hate to say it, but I'm okay with admitting that I'm kind of selfish. That's why I'm pursuing art, because I can make art for myself, right? Obviously, there are like commercial kind of like art where like you work by commission, stuff like that. But for me, art is for myself, right? And I'm okay with admitting that I'm selfish. But the thing is, with other occupations, people have an excuse. Like, I don't know how to say it, but this is how I'm going to say it. And I hope it doesn't really offend anybody. But when a person pursues medicine, from the way I observe my peers, they don't pursue medicine because they want to save people. They don't pursue medicine because they are interested in medicine. They just want the money. And if I'm going to be really honest, if I I mean, obviously I want to make money, but with art, I would be doing it completely for myself. So, and not only that, like, it's just like art, the concept, like, just saying art, like, it's so fucking vague. Like, art could be music, writing, drawing, painting,
Just
dancing.
expression in general.
Yeah. But the thing about art, and I guess the word, and like maybe the category of art, like, I feel like it's something that isn't, it's not something that, I don't know how to say it. You're never supposed to be comfortable. You're never supposed to be comfortable. You're always supposed to be moving. You're always supposed to be like trying new things and like being a new type of person and living a different type of life. That's like how you grow, because art is probably, in my perspective, the fastest moving kind of, or fastest evolving kind of career. Like, I know, like I said previously, like with other occupations, it's people get too comfortable, right? They work that job for like, what, 20, 30 years? And they get too comfortable. They do the same things over and over and over and over. And I feel like that's a very menacing concept, because for me to be doing the same thing over and over for the rest of my life, just so I can just so I can, I don't know, afford a home and be able to eat. For me, wow. I'd rather starve. So that's why I do art.
You guys know how you guys gonna set it up?
It's okay, I'll cut it out.
She's interviewing me.
Oh.
Okay. I don't know if I have anything else to say after that. Other than the fact that like I just don't like feeling comfortable. Yeah.
That answers, do you make work for yourself or others? Someone cuss that out.
Well, but I could still answer that though.
Okay.
Okay.
So do you make work for yourself or others more often?
So, I mean, I started doing art really for myself. But now that I'm taking it as like a career choice, I guess you can say it's kind of parallel to saying that I make art for my family or my friends. Because even though I do it for my own self and my self-help and stuff like that, this is just, you could always take it as like, now that I've taken it as a career choice, I use it, like, it provides for my living and my finance and stuff like that. And it also, one day it's gonna help me support my family. So I think it's both.
And then, what's your purpose and why are we here? As human beings.
So my friends really make fun of the concept of, I forgot, it's like some kind of like philosophy. I don't remember what the exact term is, but it's like, oh, nothing really matters. If nothing matters, then you don't have to do anything because nothing matters, right? And I think like just yesterday they were talking about it at the park, and I was like really thinking to myself like, oh man, like that's such a depressing way to think, right?
It really is.
But to some degree, I guess like some people would say, yeah, nothing really does matter, because why would you care if you're gonna die anyway? YOLO, right? But then it's like,
You gotta put into context the way that other people are living around you.
yeah, exactly.
That dictates
So if you
how
really
live
believe
your
that
life.
nothing really matters, that means that you I don't know, like it just seems like you live in a world where you live in like a state of like existence where like you don't care how, like you don't care that you die, you don't care that you lived, you don't care that you could have accomplished, you could have changed someone's life, you don't care because nothing matters because you're gonna die, so why even do anything? So for me it's like, well, if I'm not gonna do anything, why did I even exist? You know? So, and then there's always the concept that, oh, like, you never existed, you're just living in a simulation. Well, fuck that, bro. Like, okay, so what? Like, I know, well, you know what? If we do live in a simulation or whatever, like, I'm still gonna be doing this. You're gonna do whatever the fuck you want to do. Fuck it, you know. Like, doesn't matter if you're in a simulation. Just do something, because if you don't do anything, then there's no purpose. It's like you're just gonna just kill yourself. I don't know, like, bro, like, if nothing matters, like, I don't know. This is like, so what was the question again?
Oh. What's your purpose and why are we here?
So my purpose, I'd like to say, and I think for me, like, my purpose that I've assigned to myself is to, as an artist or like an animator, I want to entertain, you know, like, we're not gonna be here for a long time, so just enjoy what I have out there. Just like, if you feel like, if it gives you some kind of emotion, so, like, if it changes you anyway, that's great. Like, that's probably my legacy. And why are we here? Well, why not? Like, I mean, you're here, you can always just end your life, but if you choose not to, might as well leave a legacy behind. So, yeah. Bro, that was some depression, suicide talk. I'm depressed, but I'm not even,
You just think a lot.
yeah.
Alright. What do you think your responsibilities are as an artist?
That's like a really strange question to say, because I feel like when you say responsibility, is it like a responsibility to myself or to others?
To others.
Well, I feel like I don't have any responsibilities for others. It's like my choice whether or not I want to entertain you. Like, there are like, you know, like there are like artists who like, well, you wouldn't even recognize them as artists because they never release their work to the public. So they have no responsibilities to the public because they choose not to give it to the public. So I feel like you shouldn't have a responsibility. It's really just what type of artist you are. So for me, I want to be an entertainer. I'm here to like just make sure that you guys, I don't know, like change. I just want to change you in the smallest, even if it's the smallest change ever. I just want to change people. And I feel like honestly it doesn't matter if it's like a good or bad change, because that's very like subjective. But I would say because it's my choice, my responsibilities to the audience is to make sure they forget for a second where they are and what situations they're in, and just convince them that they live in this world that I created in my mind.
That plays into what's the best part about where you live right now? Like, does your environment impact your creativity?
Am I allowed to say where I'm living?
Sure, like it doesn't have to be like the state. You could just say like how it affects you creatively.
Okay, so do you talk about like setting wise, or is it like
the environment, just like
okay?
feel of it.
But in the environment also means like the people, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I talk about it probably a lot, but I'm very fortunate that I live in America because the situation, like, literally the situation is that, like, prior to living to America, life was really hard, and it's not easy being, well, it's kind of like the opposite of what I said before about my artwork. But like the situation that I'm living in right now is like I'm actually quite comfortable right now. Like I don't have to worry about like well, I think everybody has to worry about money, but I don't have to worry about it all the time. We don't have to worry about like just scraping by just to survive. So that's pretty great. And like both my parents are employed, so that kind of like is very it's very good for me, and I'm like very fortunate for that. Um, the place that I reside in, um, I would say this is a very nice neighborhood because it's very nice. It's next to the park, so that's so if I feel alone or like I just don't want to go home sometimes, I could just walk around the park and just like enjoy the sunset or whatever. But also it's very ideal because I live in a city, transportation is always around. I always have a choice. I don't have to walk like 4 miles to get to school, thank goodness. Um, and yeah, in America, or let me just be more precise, in the United States, and in the United States, like students have to go to school. I know like younger kids when they hear that, they're just like, oh, I don't want to go to school. But I'm very glad that I was forced to go to school because I feel like if I wasn't forced to go to school by both, I guess, like the government and my parents, I would probably just give up on the idea of going to college or pursuing a career and rather just settle for a job that is based on wages. And not that I'm saying that it's anything bad, but
It's not for you.
yeah, exactly. It's not for me.
Okay.
And I'm not saying I'm better than anybody, but I have dreams and I'm definitely going to put my efforts into pursuing it. But I would have never known that it was my dream if I was working to survive. Yeah.
So what do you do when you're alone or by yourself?
I mean, wow, you can be alone even when you're with people,
Yeah.
as Tyler the Creator said. Um, when I'm alone, I like to listen to music. I like to listen to some Frank Ocean, some Tyler the Creator, and Georgia Smith, and etc. Brockhampton too. Brockhampton. Um, I like to listen to music because it kind of goes with like that thing that you sent me. Like one of the playlists was created specifically for songs that have helped you discover parts of yourself you couldn't put into words until hearing them. It kind of like when I'm alone, I'm actually probably the most happiest. But it's like a really strange thing because a lot of people think that when you're alone or when you choose to be lonely that you're going through depression and stuff like that. And I know like for certain people that may be the case, but being alone is just for me a self-health thing.
Self-reflection.
Yeah. But it's like because I'm already required to go to school like Monday to Friday and deal with people, and I don't know, like it's just sometimes it's a lot for me because I don't even know if I'm a people's person because a lot of people think I am a people's person.
You don't take bullshit. Like I'm the same way. Like I could socialize, but I just don't like bullshit. And when there's a lot of people around me that are just like, just fake.
Right.
I can't talk to you.
Exactly.
I won't stand there and be like, yeah, and put up with your bullshit. No, I'll just be like, I'll be quiet.
Yeah.
Because I'm not wasting my time.
I'll see you on Monday.
Yeah.
Not gonna see you on my weekends. Yeah, so actually, I think like when I started to go from like, I don't know, like elementary school to tween to like teenage years, like I spent a lot of times like alone, just like watching like K-dramas or anime and stuff like that. Because I feel like I'm not gonna say it's depression, okay? Because I feel like depression is a more serious topic from that. But I feel like for me, the transition from becoming a child who really didn't have to care about what other people thought to like becoming pretty much an adult who was always constantly obsessed with like, why are people talking about me? Like, why are they so mean? Like, that kind of stuff. It's just, I feel like it's just a healthy option to just spend time with yourself, trying to know yourself before you kind of like question why other people's thoughts and I don't know, whatever they want to say or believe. Bro, I forgot the question. What was the question? I'm so lost in like what I'm trying to. Oh, okay. So when I'm alone, like alone at home, I like to just like play some music on the speaker, instead of headphones, because that's what I have when people are at home. Play on the speaker. I'll take out my sketchbook and I just start writing. Not drawing, just writing. And I'll be like, sometimes it's like the simplest stuff, like, like song lyrics that I really like, or things that I feel like I heard people say that is very interesting, and maybe even like pre-planning something that I want to draw. Or also because I am a person, or like my career choice is animating, things that you have to do is create characters and stuff like that. Sometimes I also like dream up characters while I'm daydreaming, and then write down their characteristics to make it like a plausible kind of like character chart to see if it makes sense for this person to exist. And sometimes they're also like, my characters are very similar to people I know, so pretty much like summing up what I am talking about is I like to work and listen to music and just being kind of productive. And when I'm not productive, it makes me very angry at myself because I feel like I wasted my time. But when I'm with people and I feel lonely, I just like to look into the sky and just wonder things. Just things that don't make sense. And sometimes music, even though I'm not listening to it, will play in my head. And I like to think about people I care about too. People, and then like how I'm gonna be like in a couple of years. It's just a lot of thinking and imagining and music, a lot of music.
How has social media impacted your life? Has it made it easier or harder?
Oh, living, or what do you mean? Made it difficult for me to live?
Life in general.
Life in general.
Okay. For me, social media is like.
Yes, I definitely feel the same way. Like, bruh, it's all audio. They can't see your face right now.
Oh, right. I'm back.
It'd be like hella
back away. I can't make that sound.
Gives that snarly eye, side eye.
Same face.
I feel like social media, it's really like depends on how you're using it, A lot of people use it as like a social platform. Then there's like a business aspect. There's also like a lot of like self-health kind of accounts that really like try to help people by like, I don't know, like you want to live a certain way, this is possible by doing this and that, right? For me, social media has been like, it really started out as like just me trying to conform with like my classmates or like people that I go to school with. But I choose not to look at it that way anymore because I think that's it's very childish of me to try to conform to people, even though I know from the beginning that I can't even relate with them because all of these people just want to become like lawyers or whatever I don't know, some high-paying job that doesn't require any kind of morals. Wow, shade. But yeah, like I chose art. I'm literally the only one in my school that graduated this year that chose art as a profession. I made a lot of sacrifices. I spent a lot of time that I could be spending with, well, I mean, I did, but still. I could be spending just hanging out and being a kid and being just a kid. Instead, I don't know, you too, like you and I, we like spent our Saturdays and in New York taking classes, our summers taking classes, our weekends, our school days even, our sleepless nights, just working.
It was all in like a good community though.
It was. It was good for us because there was a lot of people who really like helped us move forward.
Yeah.
But yeah, so for me, the way I see it, I choose to keep it around because I'm trying to document my life. And I'm trying to make sure I don't lose track of who I am and who my friends are and who the people I respect are and who the people I guess I'm not going to say worship, but look up to. Like certain celebrities, I'm not going to say all, like certain celebrities, like artists who like just make really good music for me when I listen to it and I work on art. I really, that really helps because in a way, like in an indirect way, they help me. And yeah, so for me, social media is just a way I document my life, my mental health. And I really hope I don't go crazy. Because chances are I might. But I really hope I don't. But also there are like, it's very interesting because, I've used it recently as like, an outreach thing where, like I'm going to a school not in my state and I barely know anybody else there, so I've been trying to like get to know my future classmates to see what's that about and to make friends early because then at least I won't feel completely alone when I arrive there. And also you can use it as I don't know, like what is it? Like for my future profession, I could find people or people or companies that can really just like help me get a job or an internship or something, so I can prepare myself, that kind of stuff. That's what I'm using social media for. Other people use it differently. I kind of respect that. I don't really care though, but yeah, so that's pretty much it. And also, there are certain people that I can't seem to get in contact with via phone that I can find on the internet, so that's how I keep track with my old friends and stuff like that.
So I read this article that was talking about how old artists like Van Gogh and artists and musicians just kind of like have that struggle or like just like that background of like depression or something like that, just like a internal or external struggle that they deal with, that makes their work more relatable or more valuable. Do you think that's an important aspect of art? Like, do you think people need to struggle in order to make good art?
I think if you didn't sacrifice anything, then it's probably just, if you didn't sacrifice a big part of yourself and the very complete, like, you're if you didn't sacrifice anything, if you didn't bleed for it, if you didn't cry for it, I don't know if I would call it art. Because the beautiful thing about art is that the viewers can always enjoy it and appreciate it and love it and everything. But the artists themselves, they're always flawed. They've sacrificed a lot into just creating this masterpiece because their own lives are terrible, and so they just want to distract themselves by creating something that will make other people happy. And it's like a really strange thing, because if you really think about it, the way I'm talking about art right now makes it seem like artists are servants to their own masterpieces. And I'm not saying it's not true, because it's definitely true. And like I said, I feel like everybody should try to leave behind a legacy. And maybe it's just me, but I feel like artists are one of the few groups of people who are trying to leave behind legacies. So they go crazy trying to create that masterpiece before they die. And it's unfortunate too, because most of them die, like while they're living in poverty, but when they're dead, their masterpieces go out for millions and billions. So it's a really strange type of life we're living, but it's also a life that we chose. So you can't really regret it too much, because you chose this, and this is what makes you happy, even though you're depressed.
Okay. How would you describe your work to somebody that can't see it?
First of all, only because it's something that I've noticed myself, it's quite narcissistic. Because I only know myself best. I can't tell you the story of somebody else completely without being a little bit biased and putting myself in it, because I only know myself. And I'm not saying like I won't make the effort to know somebody else, because I definitely have. But everybody has their own secrets, and I know my secrets the best. So, that's probably the simplest answer I have for that question.
What do you wish to see more of from young artists?
Do you have another question that says something like, what do you want to see less of?
You could say that.
Okay. I know this is so fucking hypocritical, but I started out doing this too. I want to see less anime. Nothing against it, but it's also just not good, because if you start out... Oh, I can't even be that person, bro. I really wish all artists would make the effort to learn art traditionally before they venture out on their own. But, they don't. So, it really hurts my feelings. Because you and I have learned art traditionally, and I'm not saying it's the right way to do it, but for us it's the only way that we started to learn art objectively and properly as artists. And when I see like people just, I don't know, just doing cartoon and only cartoon, it just really hurts my feelings, because I feel like but I don't know what I'm trying to do with this answer, but I would very much like for all artists to experience traditional art and not look down on it. Yes. Not that I'm saying I'm looking down on cartoon art. I'm not saying that, because obviously I'm gonna be doing some cartoon art in the future too. And I studied like so far, probably more than 4 years, but around 4 years, just so I could do cartoon art.
Yeah, it's just good to have like that foundation.
Yeah, everybody should have like foundation, a good foundation on, well, I'm probably only speaking for visual arts though right now, because
I think it plays a part in music as
music
well.
and probably dancing, depends on what type of dancing. Like it does a lot with a lot of
learning about
different
like the
types.
history or just like what makes
Yeah, you have to know the past before you choose to move
That way
forward
you
to the
learn
future. Right.
where you can mess up or where you could start off to kind of skip those parts that people already messed up with.
Mhm.
That's enough. Oh, what would you like to see yourself do more of?
I would very much like to see myself complete artworks because especially on digital art, because I have so many like just uncompleted artworks because I feel like I have a very like, what is it? I have a very high standard for what my art should look like. And I know like it doesn't have to look like it all the time, but I should be able to complete like several artworks that even though aren't probably up to my standard, at least it's complete and I can acknowledge that I have completed to my fullest and gave it all my effort and it still looks a certain way and I can learn to improve from that point. But one thing that I've been doing a lot recently is I've been giving up on projects because maybe like one aspect of it goes wrong and I don't, like I said, I'm like bullshit intolerant, so if I see it, I stop and I start a new one. That, but also I would love to see so much more abstractness. I wanna go crazy a little. I wanna pull a fucking Van Gogh and just draw blocks and just gradients and stuff like that. I need to do it because if I don't do it, I'm just gonna keep drawing myself, and I'm tired of drawing myself. I'm tired of my face. I'm tired of the way I draw my face because it seems like even though I know how to draw my face, it's like every artwork doesn't even look exactly like me. And I'm like, what the fuck, bro? I've been practicing for so long. Why doesn't it look like completely me? But I know like, oh, I'm still a very subjective person. You know, I want to break myself up and to be an objective person so I can make it look like me and just me. So I want to go crazy a little bit, and I'm probably going to start between this summer and probably like the first semester of foundation year and just like do things that I don't want to do, but I'm going to force myself to do it. And then I'm going to try to collect my stuff, like collect the shards of my being, put it together into a shape, whatever shape it is, and kind of like go from there. Like whatever, like if I don't go crazy right now, like I really think I'm just going to be like the type of artist who does like the same type of art forever. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying that's not me. And like I said, I don't want to be comfortable. So I need to kind of like explode soon.
What do you censor in your work?
Oh my gosh. Okay, only because I don't want to traumatize people I'm close to. I don't know if I'll be doing any like nudes of myself until I get to college. Because I should do it at least once, right? Like I need, like, let me just see how I think I look like when I'm naked. But not because the connotation with naked and nude is very different. So nudity, but like I draw other people who are naked, just not myself because I don't want to traumatize
But
like
those are
my
assignments.
family member. Doesn't matter because you could like always just interpret it another way. You don't have to do it a naked scene of yourself, you know?
No, like the ones that we've drawn in the past. Those were
Oh
assignments.
yeah, that's true. But I have practiced at home and stuff like that. Like, but I want to do like at least like one nude of myself, and if I like it, maybe I'll continue doing it. But more importantly, I need to learn how to paint a cat. Because I have this one painting of my brother, and he's cradling a runaway cat who ran away. And he looks like a human, just pasted onto a cat body, and it's so fucking sad. And I look at it every day, and I'm like, I did that. So I think I need to draw more animals in general too, because I feel like my story doesn't really have to revolve around humans that much. It could revolve around objects, inanimate to objects that I could turn animate, and then there's also animals. There's just a lot of possibilities, and I'm like crazy for not having tried it. But also, something that I've been doing recently that I really like is I'll like create a fake product, right? And try to create like a logo or a design for it to try to pass it off as a real product. And I want to like start an art account just to fool people into thinking this is a real product and they can get it. But then it's gonna be a whole prank and be like, I'm sorry, this is just like a thing I did for myself. You can't buy it. But, you know, if anything, like if it does so well, I could probably sell the design to a company. And, you know, I'm trying to make money, so. I like product design.
I thought that said magic mushrooms. I need to stop. Okay. What do you censor in your work? What don't you censor?
Myself and who I am.
Good answer. Good answer. What mediums do you avoid? Or medium?
I don't even know if I avoid mediums though. I feel like there's just some mediums that I don't know how to use that I haven't used. Oh, maybe paper cut. Maybe paper cut. Because it's beautiful and all, but it's so tedious. Yeah, and also quite dangerous. There are many instances where I almost cut myself with an X-Acto knife. And I need my hands. But I definitely will try to force myself to do more paper cuts.
And what colors do you use most? And why do you think that's them? Because I know I use red a lot.
I use blue a lot, actually. That's really weird. There's this certain color that I have in my acrylics that I purposely bought like outside of the set of acrylics we get from our program. It's like a very specific color.
The brown?
It's like, no. Oh, I like the brown, but I don't like it at the same time. It's weird. I use it because it works with the colors I'm trying to mix up, but I don't like it by itself. So this color I'm talking about, it's a blue. It's like a dark blue, but it's like also like light enough.
The royal blue.
It's kind of like a royal blue, but like, I don't know, it gives me a different vibe. Royal blue seems so formal, but this color just seems very playful. Like I like it more. It's like a water kind of, it's very, you can use it for a lot of things. But I've used it to outline my artworks. I used it for backgrounds. I've used it for like just a lot of things. And maybe I love the color. But yeah, so I use the color blue a lot, but only that specific color shade of blue.
I like this one. If 3 visual artists or musicians were to collaborate and make one of your pieces, who would they be and what piece would it be? Would they remake?
Oh shit.
Good question.
Okay, I think I know 2 of the artists. I need to think of the third. Well, okay, from the start, I already know the musical artists. And it's only one, so I'm only gonna have 1 musical artist, and it's gonna be 2 visual artists. No? Oh shit, what the fuck is his name? Okay, so the musical artist's name is Brockhampton. Because it actually had a lot to do with the piece, because I would be listening to their music while creating that piece. So that's Brockhampton for the musical aspect. As for the visual arts aspect, I would say for this component, it would probably be 1 artist, and that would be J.C. Leyendacker. His illustrations really just confused me because it was so fucking beautiful, and I really tried to attempt his style, but I couldn't fully grasp it completely. But I've adopted like certain elements of it into my artwork, and I just love his process more than anything. The way he chooses to like color his drawings and just the overall mood of his work, even though most of it was like commercial, because he would create like magazine covers using like oil paintings, but it would be like oil sketches, and they wouldn't be that too organized, but it would be like the brush strokes would really just make the biggest moves. Like, so that would be JC Leyendacker, and the music artist is Brockhampton. And for the last component, this is very upsetting too, because I actually forgot his name. So it's a director.
Oh, is it that guy I was supposed to work for?
No, I don't know him like that. I just follow him on Instagram on my spam account, but he's cool, but I'm waiting for his like golden moment. So he's a director for movies and films, and his name is, you betcha, it's Wes Anderson. Very unexpected, but I feel like it's weird because for me, in my head, it works. And the artwork is, ironically, saturation. The self-portrait of myself with pastel. Do you remember?
Can you send that to me?
Let me find it first.
Saturation.
Do I even have that picture? Bro, I really hope, okay?
Oh, the one laying down?
No, that's Eileen on a platter. Saturation is the picture of me with pastel. And my nose is like red, and everything is just red, and then it just looks really angry, but for me, it's a very happy thing.
Blue background?
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yes. So that's the piece. And, well, I think the reason is kind of, in a weird way, simple, because I've adopted... So, it's Saturation from Saturation by Brockhampton.
I was gonna ask that.
Yeah. That's what I named it after, because I think throughout the duration of just creating my entire art portfolio, I've been listening to that album, all 3 albums, like very consistently. It has like a lot of influence on like just how I was feeling, right? And then I've adopted certain aspects of Leyendacker's portrait drawings and paintings. So that's what I try to channel in the artwork. And then it's also Wes Anderson's dramatic storytelling in his movies and films. Yeah. So that's it.
And who are your favorite artists at the moment?
In terms of music or drawing or...
Whichever, that don't get as much recognition as they deserve.
Oh, give me a fucking moment. Because I hate this about me, but I'm not a person who remembers things properly. Okay, so this is artist. His name was Paolo Goscher.
How do you spell that?
Paolo Goscher. Gosher. He's a musical artist, and I found him randomly when I was just like listening to music on SoundCloud, and so there are 2 songs from him that I love in particular, and one of them is called Teo, Uno Dos. Wait, hold on. I don't know if Paolo Goscher is actually the artist, or if that's just the person uploading the song. Let me confirm. I think this is the person who's just uploading the song. Let me just correct myself. His name is upside down question mark T E with an action mark O question mark.
Theo.
Theo.
That's that guy that was on.
Yeah,
He's friends with Jaden Smith.
yeah, he's did a collaboration with him. That's the one I meant to say. I'm sorry, I didn't know.
I know who he is.
Yeah. He looks like a very beautiful man, but it's even better because he can sing and rap in both English and Spanish, and just his beat is so good. Oh
His
my
brother
god.
was on Hannah Montana. Remember Rico? That's his brother. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's.
He was on Disney too.
Did he look good when he was younger?
No.
Oh,
I'm gonna cut that out.
okay.
But no.
You're talking about Teo?
Yeah.
He didn't look good when he was younger?
You can look him. Let me look him up.
I feel like he's so like multifaceted that like if he just wow, I'm so fucking artificial me just saying like
And I got Mateo. His name's Mateo. It was kicking it.
Mateo. Oh,
was
he
on
looks
the show
better
Kicking It.
now. He looks better now.
This is him before, this is him now. Jesus. I don't know how I remember that.
No. He looked like Jesus.
Alright.
Yo, but he made good music. Like I'm really happy to listen to him. That doesn't get enough recognition. Oh my god, obviously Shiloh Dynasty. Shiloh Dynasty?
Oh yeah, you showed me him.
Yeah. I feel bad because a lot of very like mainstream popular artists have used his samples in their albums and it really just gives it that zest that it needs. But they never really credit the artist. And I don't even know what happened to the artist because for all we know he could be dead. Hopefully he's not. Yeah. Who else? Like in terms of visual artists, there are like a lot of students, like I don't know, like art students that I follow that I really like. What is her name? Sasha Gordon. I like her 'cause she's really contemporary and I really like that she's taking that approach because I feel like it's very easy to just be like a portrait painter, but she's really going off the rails. She's going a little crazy. I like it. Like, and I love like how she paints skin. Like, there's just so much like, I don't know, like what is it called? There's just a lot of pigments and like different colors and it's just so good together and I like the story she tells too. It's just everything is so insidious in her works and I live for it. Other artists I don't at the moment I don't think I want to name anybody other than Sasha.
Mm-hmm.
Well, obviously you too, like Jennifer Martinez.
Oh my god.
She's
I don't like people say
poppin'.
my name.
Jen Martinez. Gemma. Just Jen. Yeah. Oh, I don't know how I feel about this artist, but I don't know. It's like I like their artwork, but at the same time I don't. That's how I feel about it right now. His Instagram handle is Soul Was Here. So soul is spelled like sole of a shoe. It gives me confusion.
He does murals.
Mural paintings. It's just a lot of body parts merged together to create this kind of portraiture. It's confusing me, but I want more.
Is he European?
Ohio.
Okay. What are your favorite sounds to hear or make?
Genres?
No,
or
sounds, just sounds in general. Doesn't have to be music.
the sound of my phone getting charged, the sound of my laptop getting charged, the sound of the microwave finishing,
Someone in a third world country must be nice. we
I was
we
just
hear the sounds
microwaving
of
air.
bombs getting crushed.
Oh shit. I like the sound of like when you stick a key into the keyhole and then it clicks.
Mine never clicks because my door is broken.
Or like the doorknob opening.
No, like the hole where you put the key in is broken.
Is it supposed to?
No.
So people can walk
Like,
into your house?
No, like you have to push the key in order to jab in it.
Maybe there's a piece of a key stuck in there. Oh, okay. We better check that out, bro. Because you could get locked out one day.
I just want to move out.
Soon.
Exactly. I got one more round, so I'm good. I'm not checking. How does music influence your art?
Music does more influence on my self-health, which improves my art. Going back to what I said before, you remember when you made me like create playlists, those 3 playlists? Audio interpretation of my artwork. And music you listen to while making art, songs that help you discover parts of yourself you couldn't put into words. When I was kind of organizing the songs that I was going to put into them, I was kind of like very careful, because audio interpretation of my artwork and song that helps me discover parts of yourself that you couldn't put into words until hearing them, they're kind of very similar. But the one thing that contrasts it is actual music that I listen to when I make art, which is really strange because, and my reasoning for this is my artwork and everything related to me really has to just be about me and people's influence on me, right? And feelings I have because of the experience I go through. But then the music I listen to is like about like some guy with a broken heart because his girlfriend left him behind. And it's a lot of those actually. And I don't know why I listen to it while I do art, or I don't know. All I'm saying is I'm just not going to, like, you know, like partnership love? It doesn't really have much to do about my artwork and me. It's just something that's nice to listen to.
So they're 2 separate categories.
Yes, it is. And I'm not gonna, perhaps in certain ways, in different definitions of love, I will include them in my artwork and my very being. But not like partnership and relationship related stuff. Because I think I'm going to be single for the rest of my life. I thought about it and I'm like, I have a goal. And relationships are obstacles. And I have to dodge them. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And it's upsetting because there are like so many people that I really would like to like and be with. But I can't.
I feel like that's a common problem for a lot of entertainers.
Right?
Like you're so busy focused on other people and yourself that it's just like...
Maybe like at a tender age of 50, I can probably find somebody and adopt kids, right? But I don't think I'm going to live to be 50. I think I'm going to go crazy and die young. Maybe I'm just hyping myself up too much, but I really do feel like I'm probably going to die working.
This is so sad, isn't it?
Yeah, it's true though.
Okay, the last one is, what would your art sound like if it were recreated into sound? Which you kind of answered.
A lot of struggling happy depressions that have to do with friends and growing up. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know you were listening the whole time. I thought you were just moving on to the next question.